Good morning. My name is Elsie Williams, and I am in San Diego, California. And today's date is June 19th, 2013. And the reason why I'm making this particular video is to give you some information concerning what is happening towards me still on a daily basis. Ever since the day I arrived back in San Diego on August 8, 2011, up to this date, literally, June 19th, 2013. Is a result of being a target, victim, and activist concerning the criminal expeditions of what is known as organized stalking, which can also be termed as gang stalking. I am subject to specific types of harassment tactics along all of my routes. And I have discovered over time, as a result of experience, educated knowledge, and other targets contacting me through YouTube and making comments on certain blogs, which is actually part of the educated knowledge, I have come to understand in reference to the facts of how they operate, their methods, tactics, who protects them, what type of employment descriptions are used, including institutions and businesses. Now, as a result of the thorough, extensive research and experience, I have come to conclude, without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, and in other targets' minds as well, that this is nothing but organized crime in the system that is using the system to expedite these crimes, perpetrate them, manage them, and protect them. Your tax dollars, flat out. And basically what they're doing is that they're the ones who are making money off the benefits of a target's property, their finances, their insurance, and the target sexually, while they're using taxpayers' dollars to fund the expedition. Yes, including even how they're connected to, or at least have influence over, churches, charities, like Salvation Army, any type of church charity. Because what they do and how they operate, in part in reference to the schemes that they engage in to at least get the cooperation of these places, if not already having syndicated members in these places, is to, through the tracking and surveillance of a target, they can see when a target's reaching out to a church, a charity. They can possibly even, through sophisticated techniques, lead a target to these places. So these places can be used as a conduit to aid and abet in the documentation concerning the target's living situation, so they can then eventually take the documentation from that. Because a lot of times when an individual goes to a church or a Salvation Army and applies for food or clothing or anything else, they have to fill out these long questionnaires. And as a result, these long questionnaires also have to do with where they dupe the individuals to believe that they have to sign a waiver, so that information concerning the help that was given to the target by these places can be forwarded to social services. Social services play a direct role in these expeditions. They literally attempted to take me off, to keep me off of food stamps when I first applied for it after I had already been here almost a year. In San Diego, and I flat out caught him, flat out, right on audio file, attempting to keep food stamps away from me still, even after we had a conference that was agreed to have instead of a hearing. And everything that was agreed for in the conference, they then turned around, which would have made me eligible for food stamps, they then turned around and tried to get me to sign a letter stating that as a result of me denying that I wanted a hearing, that in turn made me ineligible for food stamps. Even though I was told that if I attend this and had a San Diego police officer with the San Diego Homeless Rescue Mission verify my residency, that made me eligible, and so therefore a hearing wasn't necessary. So we went all over all the particulars, and she told us, and the person who came with me, San Diego police officer from the Homeless Rescue Mission, which they used my YouTube videos and a fake YouTube account they set up to make it appear that they had a legitimate reason to know where I was camping at. They came out to my hiking area and then offered to go down with me to social services. It was a setup. And so basically, we go down there, and because I had a hearing date scheduled, and they said that since I had this police officer with me that worked for the San Diego Homeless Rescue Mission, since he was verifying that I was camping in the, San Diego County, that residency had been established, and therefore a hearing wasn't necessary. So once this was all agreed upon, and that and this person vouched that I was camping in San Diego County, they said that made me eligible for food stamps. Okay, that's why they were saying they were denying me food stamps, because my residency hadn't been established for San Diego County. So then she told me and the individual that came, that actually brought me there, they actually came and picked me up and brought me there, the Homeless Rescue Mission did. we went down and we had that interview, and everything was established that residency had been established. And so then she told me and the individual from the Homeless Rescue Mission to go outside and wait for her to go type a letter, okay, to the effect in reference to what was agreed on in the interview, in the conference. She comes out with a letter stating that as a result of me denying that I wanted a hearing, that made me ineligible for food stamps. And as I was reading the letter, her and a bunch of other people that they had staged outside of the social services who were engaging in organized stalking, gaslighting activities to my face, and were talking loud and being purposely disruptive to try and keep me from reading that letter. And she was trying to keep me from reading it as well. And I told her, she goes, "You don't have to read this. All you got to do is sign it." It was just basically what was agreed on in what, in the room when we had our discussion. I said, "Well, I'm sorry. I'd like to read things before I sign them." She kept interrupting me 3 times. I told her flat out that I wasn't signing it until I read it in full. And when I read it, I couldn't believe it. It literally stated to the effect that as a result of me denying that I wanted a hearing, that my food stamp eligibility had been denied. A flat out total opposite concerning what was agreed on in the room. Yes. And when she seen that I read the letter and told her I wouldn't sign it because it was exactly opposite concerning what we had agreed on, she said, "Well, I'll go back and type another letter." And she came back out with the appropriate letter concerning what had been agreed upon. And every single last one of it was caught on one of these kind of tape recorders. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. These expeditions are directly connected to what is known as human trafficking. And they stage all kinds of events and harassment skits around a target everywhere a target goes. And I'm going to flat out tell you today, UCSD, SDSU, and USD played a huge role in intercepting my emails for help, okay, to private organizations, faking email replies to the places that I did send emails for help, computer hacking, even going in and erasing evidence that was online in my Gmail accounts. They also played a huge role in the gang stalking of me while I was there. Now, as a direct result of me already having extensive proof online already, and that amount of proof is not even 0.01% of the proof that I have that I am a victim of this crime. Like, you can go to YouTube and type in "learning disabled woman catches another gang." No, hold it, wait a minute. Sorry about that. Go to YouTube and type in 2/20/13 "learning disabled woman catches another gang stalker admitting sent to harass." That was an individual who admitted that a San Diego police officer had put him on a corner that I hadn't even reached yet because I was on my way to that corner by a bus. So how did they know that I was even getting off at that corner to put that individual on that corner once I got off the bus? Because they surveilled through cyber surveillance that I was looking at the address of a specific business 2 days before at the San Diego North University San Diego Public Library. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams, and they just deduced that what's the likelihood of her going back to this place, because I had been in that area before taking care of other business when I was in another area. In other words, you can have a specific area, and if you got to go to this one area for business, you might go to a couple other places that you've been to when you're in that area, okay? So they just deduced that since I had already, concerning where I was using, see, because I started using internet access over here in La Jolla, okay? And so what I decided to do was I looked at what time of the day it was in reference to, and this was within 45 minutes after I left the San Diego District Attorney's office. Basically, they just deduced watcher, tracker, because this is what they do with organized stalking targets, is that they track and surveil them everywhere they go. They communicate by text messaging, cell phones, and possibly even business monitors. Yes. Now, if you don't believe this aspect of it, I strongly suggest you go to Google and type in the ACLU and the industrial complex, concerning how the ACLU even did a huge blog about it, about how the government is using businesses to aid and abet in the surveillance of citizens. And since they're involved in organized crime, then we can easily deduce 100% that, that businesses are being used for gang stalking. Not only of fellow employees, which is called work mobbing, when it comes to employees of a business will engage in gang stalking towards another employee in a business, but when they're told to engage in gang stalking of a citizen that's not working at that business, when they're told to engage in gang stalking towards just a regular citizen who's not working for the business, it's called gang stalking. It's also called organized stalking, cause stalking, revenge stalking, and so on and so forth. And so basically what I'm trying to tell you is that there's many, many, many avenues of surveillance and tracking of a target in order for them to be able to deduce when a target is stationary or mobile, and when they are mobile, where they're at in their vectored location, because they're also using GPS tracking. Possibly even on my cell phone. You can go to YouTube and type in gang stalking or organized stalking and cell phone hacking. I make these videos to inform, to expose the truth concerning the factual realities of these organized stalking, gang stalking expeditions. So why would social services attempt to keep me off of food stamps? Why? Because when they create homelessness of a target, and they also stage vehicle accidents, so a target don't even have a car to sleep in. Once the homelessness is created, that's created as a result of them getting property owners and landlords on board. Yes, including postal employees on board to steal or delay your rent. And if you don't believe that aspect of it, look at this book here. I'm going to cover up the first two things in the beginning of the title because you won't understand them if I don't. It talks about technology and gang stalking at the post office. Okay? Now the reason why I covered up the top part of that book is because then I would have had to explain to you what that meant, and that's not what this video is about. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. And so why would social services attempt to keep me off of food stamps? Because of the simple fact that once homelessness is created, targets are also, if they're able to, if they're able to work, wouldn't matter because they're blacklisted from employment as well. And this is all done to create poverty and the circumstances that derive from it. Because everybody's got to eat. And that's why she tried to keep away my food stamps. That brings a targeted individual one step closer away, one step closer to them casually and in a friendly, safely appearing avenues of them putting people along a target's path, or them suggesting to people through clever means where a person could go if they're hungry. And it's at these places that a target is led to believe through casual conversations that's deliberately being said around them for places that they can go to get help. And these are nothing but conduits where a target is eventually exploited. Okay, and if that don't work, or if they don't feel safe concerning that pertaining to each particular target, they will literally put individuals along a target's path through friendly, casual, safely appearing means to suggest to them that they can do specific things for money for sex. And they try and do it to make it appear that it's not, no big deal, and so on and so forth. But getting back to this particular video, and this is literally how they do it. And then they attempt to brain and train the target for human trafficking. This is where some of the technological resources of organized stalking and gang stalking play a role. Go to YouTube and type in Timothy W. Bioethics Issue, Brain Entrainment and Neurocognitive Weapons. Now I'm going to go ahead and get to the particulars concerning this crime towards me. They're getting around all my routes and saying gang stalker, gang stalking, gang stalk, oh my god, gang stalker, gang stalk, oh my god, stalked, gang, stalked, or they'll even go stalk and then gang. Yeah, they'll even say stalk and then gang. And sometimes they'll say it really fast because they know that I'm wearing this tape recorder. And there's many reasons why they know it. I pulled it out in front of them, in front of the people they've used. I pulled it out in front of San Diego police officers and told them they were being recorded in real time. And I have numerous videos online right now showing this tape recorder because the videos were about evidence being uploaded from the tape recorder to the video file that I was making. And you can literally go to YouTube and look at, type in Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Direct Conversation Method is happening to her. And you'll literally be able to see video pictures of my tape recorder uploading evidence to the video file. And cyber surveillance is a direct method of gang stalking. So they are told how to act and how not to act when they're getting around me and saying this, having them constantly. It's called the direct conversation method, where they will tell individuals in the community through what is known as the community notification, the offender's notification, and I'm not involved in any illegal activity whatsoever. I've never been in trouble before in my life when it comes to any criminal activity, and I had a drinking and driving on my record way back in 1990. That's over 23 years ago, okay? So, and I have come to find out that that was staged through a specific police department, yes. Now, as a result of being a target of this crime, I have to, I'm feeding my squirrels. As a result of being a target of this crime, what I do As I develop my own strategies to prove that this crime is happening to me, because they're stupid enough and confident enough to continue to do it around me. For the last year and a half, I have had individuals get around me everywhere I go, including business community, university campuses, students, and any individual that comes and when I'm like in a business, a public library, a university campus, bus stop, bus route, trolley station, trolley route, any business, including using the employees, because this is achieved through, the business cooperation is achieved through the community notification, which is a law enforcement tool that's being illegally and criminally used. As a result of the tracking of me, they just see where I'm at in real time, and basically just contact these businesses to engage in certain behaviors once I enter them. This is how it's done, literally. As a result, when I go into any business or anywhere I go, gang stalker, gang stalk, gang stalking, stalk, stalker, stalk, gang, stalk, gang is set around me everywhere I go, along with, oh my God. Okay? And what they're doing now is that they're seeing that I have undisputable proof that's online. Right now, look in the description of this YouTube video for a blog. That will, if not be put in there today, it will eventually be put in there. Because they're jamming up my ability to even upload videos now. Yes, by disconnecting me from the internet when I'm on it, right when I'm in the middle of doing something, erasing data that I put in descriptions of YouTube videos, editing, altering, and adding to my blogs, putting things in there that I did not write about me at all to trying to discredit what kind of a person I am, literally. Now, so, what I do is as a result of wearing this digital tape recorder on my presence every single day, I tape what's going on around me, and I'm going to play you a portion of, to see if you can hear what's going on around me in the law library yesterday on French Street on 6/18/2013. In the law library, I'm here today to tell you, fellow American citizens, what these individuals and what the prosecutor downtown will eventually try and do, along with the DA's office and the San Diego police, is it because these are part of the people that are at least protecting these crimes by trying to call the target crazy, mentally ill. In fact, when you go to YouTube and type in 2/20/13 learning disabled woman catches another gang stalker admitting sent to harass, that was an individual that was on a corner in reference to, once I got off a bus, I was going to be, I would take my bike off the bus, put the bike on the sidewalk, and start riding the bike to a corner. The individual was already on that corner. They ascertained where I was going because they seen what address I looked up online 2 days before, and then just watched to see when I would head towards that area, because they had me tracked every day. Okay? And this is how organized stalking and gang stalking operates. Okay? Now, in order to be able to put the crafted harassment around the target for them to see or hear. Okay, it's the only way that they can do it. Think about it. If the target's not under surveillance, how are they then able to know where target's at to have them gang stalked? Okay? So basically what he did was he admitted that a San Diego police officer put him on that corner. Literally put him on that corner. I go, was it that guy right there? Because the San Diego police officer, as I was talking to him, as the guy was gaslighting me, I go, you guys are all the same. I go, who put you on this corner? And as I was saying that, a San Diego police officer pulled up to the light, made a U-turn right in front of us, and gaslighted me. So I go, was it him? And the guy goes, yeah. I go, you got to be kidding me. I go, the San Diego police officer put you on this corner? He goes, yeah. I go, really? What was his name? He goes, Steve. And that's right in the video of 2/20/13 learning disabled woman catches another gang stalker admitting sent to harass. Okay? Now, that happened within 45 minutes after I left the DA's office, where I approached them to follow up on 3 emails that were sent to them on 3 separate dates concerning the fact that MTS sent me an altered video of me being assaulted on an MTS bus. Go to YouTube and type in learning disabled woman brutally assaulted on an MTS bus. Yes, look at that video. The back structure of the bus is wrong, and we're sitting on the opposite side of the bus in reference to where we were really sitting at, in reference to me and the person who assaulted me. Look at the back structure of the bus. What's off? Okay? And I didn't tell him all that. I just told, when I went down to the DA's office, I said that it highly appears that MTS sent me an altered video, and it highly appears that for some reason the San Diego police are obstructing justice concerning it, and since that's going on, I strongly suspect conspiracy under the color of authority. That's all I said. And so he looked right at me. He said, I suggest you go seek mental help. I go, why do you say that? He goes, because the things you are telling me suggest you're mentally ill. So I said, oh, really? I go, I've been talking to you for 10 seconds and you're deducing that I'm possibly mentally ill? He said, yes, I am. I said, fine. I go, can I please have your business card? I got it. Said thank you, left there, got on 2 buses, got off the second bus, and a guy admitted to me and running digital tape recorder to the San Diego police officer put him on the corner to engage in gang stalking. So how mentally ill do you think I am? Also, a professor over at USD, a professor by the name of Eric Pearson, saw that video of me being assaulted online. He's a professor in communications that specializes in videos and images. He saw the video and posted it on First Post. Originally, when you saw this, originally the First Post article showed that Eric Pearson put that on First Post. I think it's been scrubbed to the internet because I can't find it no more. But I do have the printout concerning it, showing his name being the one who put it on First Post. So, I'm going to play you a tidbit file here. Hang on a second. I got to fast forward it because I didn't mean to talk this long. I was going to play you a bigger portion. But they're also getting around me and saying words that sound like gang stalker or stalker gang. Like stop game. Yeah, stop game. Stalk gang. Stop game. Stalk gang. Yeah. So I'll say, look, gang stalkers being caught on this. And then when somebody listens to it, like somebody in the prosecutor's office, they can say, they're not saying gang, they're not saying stalk gang, because they'll say it backwards too. They're saying stop game. You're hearing things, Leslie. You're delusional. Because remember what I said, what the DA guy said? Calling a target crazy and calling them delusional is how they operate. Literally. It's literally how they operate. I got a class action lawsuit in my backpack right now showing that some of the technology that is attached to gang stalking is being used for human trafficking. Yes. And so a bunch of people in Ohio got together and filed a class action lawsuit against specific individuals that they knew were responsible for the human trafficking of them and how the technology was used concerning it. And since it was a syndicated judge, guess what the syndicated judge did? Threw out the class action lawsuits and had the audacity to call these victims delusional. Yes, because this is how they're operating and how they're using the system to protect these crimes, because the system is making money off of it, where everybody that's in the system gets a cut. Yes, and then the state takes the rest, like property. They're making money off of this by exploiting human beings, by cleverly taking them out of their homes, taking all their property, insurance fraud, human trafficking, land co-opting, and even co-opting the person themselves by taking legal custody of them, by making them a ward of the state through a syndicated probate attorney and judge, so federal benefits can be applied for in their names because they're put in a group home that is syndicated, run, and owned. The benefits then pay for the mortgage of these homes, and then once the mortgage is paid off, because each home can house up anywhere between 9 and 11 people. Once the mortgage is paid off, they sell the home and flip the property. They're hunting for people on disability, the vulnerable, single women, single mothers, the elderly, disabled, you name it. Okay? So, what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to make a separate video file concerning what was caught at the law library yesterday, because I spent too much in this audio file, or in this video file, talking. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. I guarantee you right now, fellow American citizens, fellow San Diegans, fellow La Jollans, and fellow Californians, I'm not involved in any illegal activity whatsoever. I'm an activist. And it's my goal and my intent to not only keep myself safe from these individuals who, they stage all types of incidences around me. Let's see how long it takes before UCSD creates an incident using either an employee, a student, or a guest. Okay, to make it appear that a complaint has been made about me, or to bring about an incident to where they then will point the finger at me for concerning the blaming of me for the incident, because they also stage the witnesses. They're called street theaters and organized stalking expeditions. You can Google it. And so we're going to see how fast this happens before November of 2013. And I have a reason why I'm making that statement, and that reason will come to exposure when I feel the time is appropriate. And once it does come to your attention, you will understand why I made that statement in reference to it being a limited statement. Okay? But I guarantee you something right now, fellow American citizens, UCSD will either pull something on their campus, any place, using anybody, including a guest, a homeless person, a student, an employee, anybody, or even an employee of a business that's on UCSD campus, like Burger King or any other private business that is franchising within the UCSD campus. They will use anybody for the incident and for the witness. Anybody. Okay? And this includes their shuttle services as well, in order to ban me permanently from their campus. Because there's two things that are going on here. The individuals they're getting to harass me are going to be future targets, and I've talked about that in previous videos. Okay, and they don't want. See, for one, they don't like me taking video pictures of people they're getting to harass me because they are eventually going to become. Some of them are going to become future targets. Okay. Also, they don't want me on campus because they don't want every single semester of new students getting wind of this, that this is happening to me, because that's leaving more witnesses. Because they're stupid enough to literally engage in these tactics wide out in the open around me. And everybody's witnessing it. I got students walking around me right now looking at me like they feel sorry for me like you would not believe. So this shit's getting out. And if you don't think that campus safety is not watching how much of this is getting out, think again. Because the university's got to protect their butt when it comes to these expeditions, because of what the main motivation and the ultimate demise is of a target: human trafficking, illegal syndicated probate control of a target. Yes, so the target can be exploited in an isolated environment they control by trying to claim the target's crazy, mentally ill, a threat to themselves or others. Yes, that's why they provoke targets, in order to get a target to act out. Yes, so they can then call the police. The police come and arrest the target and will falsify a police report concerning the target's mental well-being, or the fact that they're being arrested for a violent crime because the event was staged. That's right, the event was staged with the witnesses. So everybody could point the finger at the target and blame the target for any type of violence they might have engaged in reference to defending themselves from them. Yes, they try to provoke a target like you would not believe, using sensitization methods. Yes, I suggest you Google it. Words, phrases, physical gestures, and specific types of sounds that are all designed to blend in with the everyday actions of everyday people. This is how they operate, and this is how they get away with it. This is why people don't really know that a crime is happening to a target as it's happening. Yes, and that's why I expose what I expose. You can go to the YouTube channel Fans Filtration, and there's some excellent videos on there in reference to sensitization and harassment. Yeah, done through classical conditioning. I gotta go. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. I am being gang stalked everywhere I go through clever, overt sensitization methods, which are, as a result, harassment, which is achieved through stalking. MTS is directly and still involved in this crime towards me. I'm still being gaslighted by bus drivers. Yes. And UCSD, so we're going to see how long it takes for UCSD or the law library to come up with an excuse to make it appear that they have a legitimate reason to ban me. Yes, and I'm here today to tell you that the library staff at the law library and the security staff at the law library are engaged in gang stalking. And see, this is one of the, in closing, this is what this district attorney and the prosecutor are going to do. They're going to say it like this: Leslie's claiming that everywhere she goes, she's being gang stalked, even though she's going to the places these people work at. UCSD tried that crap. Now, I've already proven this crime is happening to me as a result of the tracking of me in order to put this community-based harassment around me, concerning me overtly. Yes, but these are the type of statements that they will make. Leslie is ill. Leslie is mentally ill. Leslie is delusional, because she's stating people that are stalking and gang stalking and harassing her at places that she goes to. So how can they be doing this? Their whole goal is plausible deniability while turning around and calling the target crazy concerning it. I suggest you go to Google and type in the community notification and gang stalking. Yes, I got flat out proof that the law library and UCSD is engaged in gang stalking, along with the North University San Diego Public Library. Flat out proof, and it's online right now. Most of it, I mean a good portion of it. Like, I got 600 audio files of this type of evidence as far as their harassment. But what I meant, like a huge part of it, is that I've at least got a couple videos per places